Morning everyone. Morning everyone. Saturday, 8:07. Just on my way up to the shop, down to the shop, up to the shop, over to the shop. I'm tired. Long late night. Great to get out on the bikes yesterday with Harry, Dom and John. A nip up to Cafe in the Machine for a non-alcoholic pint and a pizza. It was all good and we had a nice ride, and obviously now everyone's got their full license. It was cool, we had a blast. I can't see Dom keeping the Honda long. I think he's going to get a bike with more power. 750, but I think it's got 50 brake horsepower, he said. It's not very quick. And he was struggling to cog it down and overtake stuff that obviously the KTM was kind of monstering. So but nice to kind of go out for a little ride with everyone. It was dead cool. Today, crazy Saturday, we've got Caddy coming back in for extra sub, new amplifier because he blew up the old one, new power kit, bigger cable, twin box that's ported as opposed to a single box that's sealed, 2 subs at 4 ohm which are now going to be bridged down to 2 ohm, big Pioneer 1600 watt amp, so we should get a lot more power out of it and a lot more level, a lot more sound. We've got to do some testing on the head unit to find out where the peak distortion starts, where the peak is and the distortion starts, so we make sure that he's got a safe level to work to so he doesn't blow another one up. And then we can kind of give him that limit of like, your head unit max is at 60, do not take it past 45 or whatever. We have a smart car in for a head unit and fascia. She's buying her own Pioneer. We've got to do the bits and bobs because she's been told it can't be done. Bollocks, yes we can. We've got a Astra that's having a Kenwood, a cheaper CarPlay and Android Auto unit, but it comes with a USB like Wi-Fi adapter, so he can have wireless CarPlay on a cheaper level. And something else. Is it another speakers in a iGo maybe? Yes, I think we're doing speakers in an iGo. So there's 4 booked. Obviously it's Saturday, everyone shows up, it gets a bit crazy. And I'm knackered. Dan should be back off of holiday today. I hope he's refreshed because he's got some work to do today. But yeah, really nice evening out with H and Dom and John. It was good to get out on the bikes. There's probably more to come, so sorry if you're not into that. Yay if you are. I don't care anyway, it's my channel. If you don't like it, tough. See you in a bit.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.
Morning everyone. This is a great start to the day. The rain is off at the minute. Got our first one in, which is the Astra. So currently we have a Pioneer in here. There we go. But it's being swapped out for the Kenwood with the Wi-Fi adapter. So a DMX 5023 DABS. And then it has this little thing here, which is the Wi-Fi adapter, so you can use this to turn any USB CarPlay radio into a Wi-Fi. So that's going in this one, and then we're waiting on the other 4 coming in, 3, 4, whatever. Bye. Right everyone, next in, a little Toyota Aygo. This thing, customer's own equipment. We have JBL Stage 2 front component set, got to go in here. So we've got crossovers, mids and tweeters up here, mid-range in the door, and then Sony head unit I think he's got as well, his own digital aerial, his own fascia, and oh, okay, that's weird, why is it in that kind of bubble wrap? Is this used? Maybe. We have a wiring harness. What was that? Aerial adapter in here, there's a lully. Sony wiring harness and mic. Looks like a used unit. Not sure what's going on with that. Anyway, getting this in next. So that thing being changed, speakers being changed. See you in a bit. Wicked, right everyone. So, Sony is in. Tweeter's up there, standard position. Mid-range in the doors. Crossovers are actually under the tweeter because the signal from this radio comes up to there. And it's 4 into 2 and then 2 down to the mid. So actually it's a nice place to put the crossover. So that's hidden inside the dash. So we got that one done. Microphone, digital aerial, front loading USB on this one. So that's this little bad boy done. And then over here, the Astra. Dan has finished with the Kenwood. Let's have a little look. Ugh. Oh Jesus. So now we've got the Kenwood in. Vauxhall kit. So the Kenwood comes on, he's got sub and everything else in here. Dan's put the bass controller back down there and connected up some of the cabling that was awry. This is the Wi-Fi version, so it's got the little dongle that allows you to do CarPlay and Android Auto remotely. But there we go, this one's done. And now we've got the VW Caddy back in to do a more powerful amp. 2 subs instead of 1, bridge it down to 2 ohms so he gets louder bass. We've got change for a 4 gauge kit from an 8 gauge kit, and basically unfuck the fuckery. See you in a bit. This guy. Right everyone, here we have our first LX amplifier. Very excited for this. These have been a long time coming for us. Obviously the States get them first, but let's have a little look. Ooh, 1949. That's a birth certificate you want to see. Look at that.
Out of 1200 though.
Yes. 1200.5 and it did 1649. Right, cool. Where do we start? Dan, take over from this one. Right, so this amplifier is a 5-channel amplifier. It's rated at 1200 watts. But we know Kicker's birth certificate system is that it will always do more than they say it does on the tin. So, oh my goodness, that's a weighty boy, that is. Feel the weight of that. That's an amp. That is an amp. I got a new t-shirt because I put a speed hole in this one somewhere there. Let's get this undone. It is going to go probably in the chaser because we've been having issues with the IQ amplifier that's in there. Oh my god, look at that thing. That's sexy. 2 or O gauge inputs. I'm guessing we've got speaker feeds. It's a bit oily. Yeah, it's a bit oily. We've got speaker feeds here, and then we've got sub channels, I guess, there. That looks about right. We've got high level input. RCA's 1, 2 and 3, amp 1, amp 2, sub, front rear sub. We have remotes and some other features. I also know for a fact that you can change the colour of the remote control. You can change the colour of the LED. You can change the orientation of the Kicker badge depending on which way up your subs and amps go, and this will also change colour as well.
That's what that white thing is underneath the badge.
Yes.
Is that's a
get
Perspex LED thing.
2 remote controls. One is like a setup remote control, so we can set our ins and outs, our gains, our crossovers. And the beauty of that is it means that when we set an amp up, the customer doesn't leave here, turn everything to 11, and then come back going, oh, my stuff's blown up. So basically, plug this in, get it out of the packet. I seem to be having trouble with sellotape. Snap-on will sort that out. So we have a remote control that we can set up the amplifier with, and then once the setup is done, we can unplug the remote control. We then have a multifunctional bass knob.
Oh, that's
that does
pretty.
a number of things. We've got little buttons, we've got little twisties. This does multiple things as well. So we can have this in the car. And again, Kicker's nice design where they give it like an unscrewable. So you can actually unscrew this, not use this big plastic or big metal bracket, and actually screw it into a little hole in the dash. So you've got a bit of neat and tidiness. And that's the bit that you then control your audio from. So set up on here, save the configuration to the amplifier, and then leave the amplifier alone, unplug this and plug in your bass controller, which frankly is just a really, really cool, clever idea. So we're not doing it today because we don't have time. I wanted to get it out of the box and show everyone because we are #1 Kicker fan. But that, oh my goodness, that's a weighty boy, that. That is the new LX 1200.5 amplifier that will be going in the Chaser at some point. Dead excited for that.
And there's your high level input plug.
High level ins, and then you get a power chart of impedances and ohm ratings and voltage and outputs. Very cool.
So there's your specs as well that the box has on the side of it there. 700 RMS at 2 ohms, full range. 500 at 4 ohms, full range. And 700 on a 1 ohm sub channel.
There you go.
And there's what your controller looks like.
So you can set it to match different colours and stuff. It's such a cool bit of kit. And
That is very cool.
I like the finish on it as well. The time or the test will be the usage of it. So the IQ has a issue with overheating. I think I'm on my 3rd one now, and it plays for about half an hour in hot weather and then clips out. And I've tried to move the amp because it was in the wooden board that was on actuators that moved in and out.
That thing just
Yeah. And
there.
then we moved it to the carbon fibre in the middle of the boot to give it some airspace, and it still freaks out. Not shitting on Kicker's products at all. I really like Kicker stuff, but it's frustrating when it clips out because it's hot and then thermal cuts, and then you've got to restart it, let it cool down, and off it goes again. But this, I'm hoping, will cure all of that, but pretty fucking cool.
So the LX stuff, though, that's not the only one they do, is it? The LX,
They do a 7-channel, a 5-channel. I think they do a 4. They do monos. They do there's a whole host of amplifiers that they're bringing out for this.
that are of the LX range.
Yeah, but this is the first one, so it's like the replacement. KS like the Red Range, but LX.
There you go.
And I can't wait for them to bring out the rest of what they're going to bring out this year.
But no spoilers yet.
No spoilers
Not allowed to
yet.
spoil anything yet.
But yes, you can run a complete system. It's why I'm a big fan of the 5-channel. Multi-channel amplifier, simple systems, front rear sub, 1 amp, no fuss. It's just, it works, and it works so well. And you get your little clip lights as well to set gains and things. So clever.
So you can still use these to set your gains and stuff
So-
here, but you can also do it on
I
the...
think you set your gain here, and then you set your frequencies there, because this lights up and actually shows you real-time clipping.
Okay.
Yeah, so not many amps do that. You've got to go into like a sine, or not a sine sweep. Well, yeah, kind of like a sine sweep. You've got to get an EQ out, an RTA, to be able to show you that the signal's clipping out.
I only
Whereas
ask...
This shows you immediately the dirty light
Right.
comes on, and it tells you that there's a problem, which is, it's not, it's simple, and it takes the idiocy out of it. Like there is no hocus pocus to car audio. Anyone can do it. It's just we have a lot of experience because I've been doing it so long. But this simplifies it for any other person to look at this and then go, well, how do I do that? They read the manual. They could set their own amp up. It's not a problem.
But the other benefit to this as well, I don't think you've mentioned yet, is being able to set high pass and low pass filters
Yeah, I did.
to an exact measurement as opposed to just
Yes.
on a
Yes.
frequency dial.
Yes. So rather than having like 40 hertz to 250 hertz and somewhere in the middle you've got to guess where that frequency is, with this you can actually set exact numbers. So if you don't want a tweeter to play bass,
So with those buttons there, I believe, crossover slope, crossover type.
you can actually, that'd be Butterworth and Letterworth. No, that's a prison. But yes, you got Linkwitz and Butterworth. You get to set your crossovers up. You can set your cut-offs. You can set your exact frequencies of what you want stuff to play, which has always been a bugbear on things like the snowmen, the kicker snowmen, I always wonder if I'm driving just a little bit too low. They have the blocker on them anyway, the signal blocker, but I always wonder if they're being driven slightly too low for their own good. But this, I can actually go, right, this channel, you're only going to play that. This channel, you're only going to play that. So technically, you could run a system 100% active because you set your crossovers to be this and this only. It's very, very clever.
So that you could actually power tweeters and stuff off of this and not
you could
worry about it because of the fact that they've got
well, it's a 4 channel, so technically you could do, if you wanted to be, you could do sub, you could do rear as your mid, and you could do front as your tweeters.
So it'd be what, like running the 200.4 in biamp mode?
Kind of, yeah. But then you'd add a sub as well.
Yeah.
But you get exact crossovers and exact frequencies. All it's so clever. It's simple, very simple, but they've done a sterling job of designing something that just takes the
simple but functional.
Yeah, takes the stupidness out of setting up amps.
I've just noticed the buttons here. So you've got like I'm assuming a brightness.
Yeah, so that's probably your color settings. That's probably your brightness, and then you'll have like
reset or whatever.
A return, I guess, to go into different menus. But yeah, super cool. So that's the new LX 1200.5 coming into the chaser soon. We'll do a setup. We'll get it powered up. We'll play with it, and then come back to you and go. It's amazing.
Yeah, buddy.
It's kicker, of course it is. Yeah. But we're waiting on one more, and then we're done for a Saturday. Everything else is gone.
There you go.
Nothing much more to report. So we'll see you again Monday. No, we want Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Bank holiday. Have a good one, everyone.
See you all soon. Bye.